What's going on, guys? It is Inkbite Gaming here, bringing you back to another tier list. Today's tier list will be a cartoon from like the early 80s to the 90s. I'm gonna read what it says here. I decided I should do one of these, another tier list, because a lot of people like the Pokeball one that I did. So I said, hey, what could I do that possibly could be somewhat good as that one? So I have it up here so I can read what it says, what this one is about. It's a 90s cartoon tier list, only cartoons, no animes. The cartoons from the 80s that ran into the 90s that are included. The list is the good, the bad, the ugly, the chef's kiss masterpiece, and the cult classic and hidden gems, and the truly awful. So I hope we enjoy this. Hopefully there is. I didn't even get to look to see what cartoons were in here. A lot of them might be ones that I've never actually seen. So there is a one at the bottom here to a never seen. All right, so we are starting strong with the animated Batman. I have fond memories of the original animated Batman, just because it had the best voice actors for both Batman and Joker. Mark Hamill, so great, and Kevin. I always forget his last name. It's Kevin, right? Hold on. We'll get his name correct right now. Give me just 1 second. I gotta make sure I turn on my volume if any pop-ups pop up on my phone. Okay, Google. Who voice Batman? Okay, we had it pulled up. Arkham Knight. That's not what we want. Kevin Conrove. He was so good. He was so good. Rest in peace, his soul, because he was just so good, so good indeed. All right. So next we are up to no. We don't need. My computer always telling me I have threats on my computer when I don't have threats on my computer. Um, Batman Beyond was an S tier. Whoa, I've actually never seen the animated series on Superman, so it'll go down here. The original animated Spider-Man as well, so good. Um, I think this one here. Let's see. I think that's the one where they tried putting him in the future. Um, I didn't like watch it. I think I watched like the first two episodes. So it's gotta be in between C and B. So I'm gonna put it on B because I do like Spider-Man. Um, I never got to watch the Iron Man animated stuff. I did watch X-Men, so X-Men S tier. Um, the Hulk stuff, I think I saw maybe a few things of it, so we'll put it on C tiers. Fantastic Four, I don't think I really saw. Nor the Silver Surfer, Spawn. I'm probably like making people very angry for not seeing these cartoons. Wildcats. I think I've seen a few episodes, so it's kind of being a B tier because I've seen it, but just haven't seen that many episodes of it. So that's Wildcats, right? Is that what that says? I really can't read. I really can't. Let's see. Can I? No, I don't want to mess things up. I'm gonna look really close. I think that says Wildcats. I don't know if that's actually no. I don't think I've seen this one. Actually, no. Bring that back down. I thought it was the one with actual cats. Um, never saw this one. Never saw that. These gotta be cartoons that were kind of like in the 80s, I guess, because I've never actually seen these ones. Never seen that. Never saw that. Captain Planet. as much as it's a cartoon based on, saving the planet, it was on every single morning for me. The Simpsons, top tier as well. Family Guy, I'm very sorry, but I have watched you. You are about an A tier, not an S tier. Futurama, Chef's Kiss. Beavis and Butthead, Chef's Kid. King of the Hill. I remember back when I was a kid, this would be on either during or after dinner, along with The Simpsons. We would watch, me and my mom, we would watch The Simpsons, like, during dinner, after dinner, or something along the lines of that. King of the Hill was, like, later on and whatnot. We would do that. We do have South Park. South Park is up there in S tier too, because I loved it. Didn't get to watch a lot of it, because since mother was like, "Has a lot of cursing in it," and I was like, "Mom, but it's just a cool, funny show." What is this? Space Ghost Coast to Coast was on super late. So it was like the more of the Adult Swim stuff, but I have seen it. It's not an S tier, but it's more of an A tier. I have seen it. Also, never really understood the show, because since I was kind of really young for the show. Yeah. Looney Tunes. I would say they are A tier. They're not up there in S tier, but they are an A tier. I have seen the Tasmania show. That was a good one. I don't remember seeing this one. I might have seen an episode or two, maybe, but I haven't. So we got the Looney Tunes. They're here in A tier. I've seen them, a few of them. Scooby-Doo, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Always watching it when we either had vacations or if I was sick. I know that, when you're a kid back then, you'd watch, what is it? What is that show? The Price is Right, when you were sick, staying home. But Pup Named Scooby-Doo, I remember watching it. The Animaniacs, S tier. I know a lot of these ones are going in S tier. I've seen this guy, but never really actually watched all of his shows. So there was that. Pinky and the Brain, up there in S tier. I know that we're kind of low, but I got to make sure I can see down here. I didn't know this was a TV show, so I'll move that down there. The Tick, I've watched a few, so it's in B. Reboot. Who remembers Reboot? I talk about this from time to time because it comes back into my mind. Reboot. I would always forget the name, but I would remember the show. And whenever I bring it up, people will be like, "What are you talking about?" It's like one of those shows that no, it's not in A tier. I thought I was in S tier. It's an S tier because it was a show that I would watch a lot. And not a lot of people remember it. It's like a forgotten memory to people. But it is an S tier for me because I've watched a lot of it. I really wish that I could rewatch it because it was like one of those cartoons that bridged the era of cartoon to like 3-dimensional cartoons. It just was I would say ahead of its time. What do we have here? I can't really see. Beast Machines? Didn't really hear about that. Beast Wars, however, unless that is I can't see if it's a transform. You know what? Let's put it up into more up in the A tier because it might be Beast Machines. Seems like a beast. I can't see if it says Transformers on it. But Beast Wars up there. I know they just did the movie with the Autobots that were beast forms. Didn't get to see the show. Two Stupid Dogs, A tier. Cow and Chicken, A tier. I Am Weasel. Oh my God, these are such great ones. I didn't really see too much of this dog. I remember seeing this dog, but not a lot of his shows. Tom and Jerry. We're not in there. We are in S tier because I've seen a lot of Tom and Jerry. Woody the Woodpecker. would be in S tier. Courage, again, we're very low here. We gotta be able to bring them back up. Courage to carry the dog. Dexter's Laboratory. Ed and Eddie, S tier. They are all S tier. Johnny Bravo. I'm saying Johnny Bravo would not be able to survive in today's climate. We've talked at my job. We talk about this show from time to time, is because the world has changed so much that these old cartoons would not survive in today's climate. Now, you know how I say today's climate is that the way they act in their shows is they wouldn't be able to handle said topics of today. Like Johnny Bravo was one of those people that were always trying to get with the ladies and being masculine and everything. And you know, today's society just Johnny Bravo would have to have a complete 360 to change, like, well, no, 180, because 360 would mean he would go back to being masculine. So 180, he would have to change some way, shape, or form, which I don't think a lot of people would like. But I don't think he would survive. Powerpuff Girls, I did watch Powerpuff Girls. I have sisters and whatnot, so I have watched them. Also, there's nothing wrong with watching the Powerpuff Girls. Also, the movie that the original movie that they did was so good because I know that it's so far ago and spoilers and whatnot, but that movie was so far ago. If you've never seen it, I'm sorry. But when Mojo Jojo came and was like, "Here, help me take control of these apes and whatnot," and the Powerpuff Girls were fresh and new, didn't know what they were doing, and helped Mojo Jojo completely brainwash these monkeys, these apes, all this stuff, and then just all these apes were super smart, and they were like, "Mojo, no way, I'm taking over the town. This is my right," and it just turned terrible, and the Powerpuff Girls had to learn. Um, I remember this. I remember this, but it wasn't highly watched by me. I know it was a Nickelodeon show. But I only watched it a bit, so it'll stay an A tier. Um, I remember seeing this character, but I've really never actually seen any of his actual stuff. Ren and Stimpy, I would say an A tier because S tier, again, the adult humor when I originally was watching it, my mother never knew I watched this, but the adult humor I just didn't get as a kid. It's a cult classic now, but I never really got it. Here we'll also, you know what, we'll start going with S tier. We got this. I'm gonna put them up so I can bring them up. That's S tier. That's S tier, and that's S tier. The Rugrats are the cult classic that is S tier. I really did not like the All Grown Up, so I will put it in F tier. This will be the first not liking one. It was okay in the beginning, but I couldn't get behind it. So here, let's get all these guys up into S tier. These were all the Nickelodeon shows that I loved as a kid. But the all grown up ones I couldn't get behind. Cat Dog was an S tier. Hey Arnold, S tier. We also have Wild Thornberries in S tier. Rocket Power, S tier. I love those. SpongeBob, it is up there, but we will put it in A tier. I've watched it. It was good, but it's not. Again, I remember the pilot episode. I was there for when the pilot episode was a thing. When Mr. Krabs hired that man, I was there for that. DuckTales is S tier. Darkwing Duck, S tier. I don't know if I've ever seen this one, so that one will go into never seen. Chip and Dale, oh, such a great show. Tailspin has to go into an A tier. I watched it; it was all right. Goof Troop, that's a movie, so that was definitely. Was it the movie or is this a thing? The animated mermaid was on as well. Watch that. That was good. The Aladdin, oh, so good. Timon and Pumbaa was good as well. S tier. The Buzz Lightyear, that was just you got to see the show. Man, a lot of these are going in S tier. Shows how much of a '90s kid I am. Doug, Pepper Ann is an A tier, not an S tier. Gargoyles. See, I have all these in D tier, but I'm just making it so I can move them up. Okay, so S tier, S tier, S. I don't know if this is an animated thing. Actually, let's just put it on A. Because I don't know if it's talking about the movie. The movie was good. I don't know if there was an animated thing for this. I could be wrong. But I remember the animated series for Aladdin. I remember Timon and Pumbaa, Buzz Lightyear. I remember the Hercules animated series. This guy right here was the guy who flew too close to the sun with his wax wings. You gotta remember Doug. Do 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 do. And his friend there, Skeeter, making all the gargoyles. I don't remember finishing, but I remember like watching the show. Recess S tier. I don't know what this is. Never watched it. Arthur was more of like that PBS kids show. Or it's PB. Is it P? Was it PBS back then? I don't know. But I remember watching Arthur as well, and the books. I know that this guy was in the books. There was books on this guy, but never actually watched this stuff. Brownstein Bears. I don't remember seeing any of this. I don't remember seeing it. I remember the book. Franklin. Franklin, you are an A tier because you are one of those shows that I watched, but it's not like up there. It's more of that learning show. Rupert, never really watched. Casper, I don't know if I have ever watched any of the animated stuff, so I'll put it in B. Winnie the Pooh is A tier because it's along those learning shows like Arthur, Franklin, and Winnie the Pooh. Blue's Clues. You cannot tell me that if you are a 90's kid, you never watched Blue's Clues and never liked it. You're outright you're banned from the 90's table. If you think Blue's Clues is anything but an S tier, you are banned from the table. Never really saw this. I've saw Mike's Louie Dog, but it's not like it was my favorite. Mike's Louie Dog was an A tier. It was watched but not loved as much. Any of the Sonic stuff was always funny because I don't know. I'll just loop them all together because I don't remember seeing all this, but I will put them all together because they're Sonic. I remember the Donkey Kong show. So we'll put these guys at S tier because I very much remember like Sonic and the Chili Cheese Dog, Donkey Kong doing his thing. Never heard of this. I've heard about this, but never got to watch it, so it goes in B. Never heard of this either. I feel like I know about this, but I've never actually really seen any of it. Or the Street Fighters. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they're up there. They are up there in you would thought I was gonna say an A tier, but an S tier because I remember I think I finished the show. Never heard of Bucky D. Hare? Never heard of that. Oh my god. I didn't really watch that much of this, but I thought Street Sharks were so goddamn cool. I think I had at least 2 of the action figures. I think I had like 2 of them. I think I had like there was the Hammerhead one and some other one I had. So I remember that. Never heard of that. I did hear about this and watched maybe one or two. Um, but I think you are in an A tier because I don't think actually no, I think you're in a B tier because I've heard about you but just not watched a lot. Mighty Ducks is an A tier. Is an A tier. Mummies. I don't know. I don't think I watched that or this. I can't really. Straight, yeah, SWAT Cats. SWAT Cats is it. It's an A tier because I really never actually finished watching it, but I've watched it. All Dogs Go to Heaven will be a D tier. It's a almost there, but actually no. That means C tier is better for it because it's actually no. We'll go with a B because it's almost not so good, but almost so good. Back to the Future never knew there was an animated, nor did I know Beethoven was an animated. Beetlejuice is an A. I would say an A tier. I've watched it, but just never was really deeply into it. I didn't know Bill and Ted had its own a thing. I knew Ace Ventura had its thing, and Mask had its thing. So it'll go up here. We'll go with B because I don't think that I've seen maybe some of it, but it's not too terrible. Actually, no. Let's bring these up to there. They might actually be good enough. I should rewatch some of this. Wizard of Oz. That sound I've never seen, but that sounds terrible. Anything that's made a cartoon of a movie might not be so good. Like Free Willy, I've never seen that, but seems trash. RoboCop. What can you make a cartoon out of that? I've never seen that, but what can you do? What is this? Can't see what that is. I have seen Addams Family. They're not in F tier. I'm just moving them so I can move them up. I think I've seen the Ghostbusters thing. We'll just put them all together because I've seen them. Godzilla, I saw that as well. The Men in Black. All right, so these I think are all like A tier because they were good, but just really, I didn't love them. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, never heard. Big Guy, never heard. I don't know what this is, but I don't recognize it. Again, don't know what that is. I remember seeing this, but just not as frequent enough, so we'll put it into C. Detention. I don't think I've seen that. I've seen the comic strips of this guy. Dog City. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. I remember this cat, but I never actually seen him. Garfield. I have seen. I would say Garfield is an A tier because I've seen it, just haven't actually loved it. G.I. Joe, I know was a thing, but I think it's a B tier. He-Man, I mean F tier. Meh. And Inspector Gadget, he's gotta be up there in A tier. Lost Quest. Hold on, let's move this up. I've seen it, but just not loved it. I didn't know they made an animated series for Jumanji. I don't know what this is. Never seen that. Never seen that. Pink Panther. We're just gonna move these guys up. Actually, let's just move some of these up so I can continue to stop moving up and down. They're not in F tier. They're just being moved so I can don't have to continue to scroll on down. So I can have them at least up here because we can put them into other tiers from there. Okay, so that's all of them down there. We moved everybody in F tier. Pink Panther was one that I knew of, but really didn't see too much of. Sherlock Holmes, I've never saw. I don't know what this is, and I don't recognize it, so I'll put that here. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I remember watching the actual like show, and then watching the movie, and then saw the animated series, and I thought it was cool. So it is not an S tier, it's in an A tier. It was watched, but it was alright. Um, the Lionhearts, never seen it. The Magic School Bus, it goes into an S tier because that's God. Uh, Sam and Max, I know that there was like video games based upon them. I didn't know there was an animated thing on them. Never heard of this one. This doesn't look familiar. Nor does that. He-Man. Well, hold on. He-Man's there in F tier because I know it was beloved by all, but I can never get behind it. I don't know what this is. I don't know. Well, Zora, based off of like thing. Mission Hill, never saw it. And The Head, never saw it either. Well, that goes with all the 90s and the late 80s and 90s cartoons. We have all the great shows here that I loved as a kid. We got the Batman, Batman Beyond, Spider-Man, X-Men. We also have Captain Planet, Simpsons, Futurama, Butthead, King of the Hill, South Park, a pup named Scooby-Doo, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Reboot, Beast Wars. We also have Tom and Jerry, Courage the Cowardly Dog. We have Dexter's Laboratory. We also have Ed, and Eddie, Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff Girls, Rocco's Modern Life, Angry Beavers, Real Monsters, Rugrats, Cat Dog, Hey Arnold, The Wild Thornberrys, Rocket Power, DuckTale, Darkwing Duck, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. We have the Aladdin animated series, Timon and Pumbaa, Buzz Lightyear, Hercules, the animated series, Doug, Gargoyles, Recess, Blue's Clues, the Donkey Kong animated series. We have all the Sonic ones because, again, I don't remember which ones I watched. I know the original. I think the original ones I watched, but I don't remember which ones are which. Also, with titles of shows, it's kind of when you were like a younger kid, you really didn't like focus on that. You focus on, hey, I remember what this cartoon is. I love it. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You also have Street Sharks and Magic School Bus, which are S tiers. And then you have the following ones down here. And so forth. And just the garbage. I know a lot of people are going to be like, G.I. Joes were so good. He-Man was so good. I don't think so. I think they were meh. Meh at best. And then all these ones that I didn't know were actually... Well, I mean, I knew about... like any of the superhero ones that were animated, but I just never seen them. I didn't know Earthworm Jim was an animated show. Must have been quick. The ones with like the Quack Pack, I've heard about, but never actually seen. Double Dragon, isn't that a video game? Is there like a time and place where there was a bunch of video games being made into like cartoons? Or they tried like movie adaptations into cartoons? Like, again, I wouldn't. Why? What would RoboCop do in an animated series? He's a cop, and kind of soulless, is what I remember. And like, because I don't remember. It's been a long time since I watched those. I think like the people who like remade him had control over him and this and that. But that is it for today. And we have our nice little tier list going on here. All the great ones up here. But I'm going to end it here. So please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time in the next video. Bye-bye.